Welcome back to the channel. Today's an exciting day because our Bronco group is meeting up and hitting the trails. We have so many Broncos here that we're splitting up into smaller groups. So we are in group 1 and there's about, I don't know, 9 or 10 of us here. And then we'll meet back up as a big group later on. Right now, we're just gonna take a couple pictures and hit the trails. And in this video, I'm also gonna share some of my off-road gear necessities that I recommend or that I have, and also some pretty cool footage of us wheeling, so stay tuned.
Buckle up, Buttercup!
Here recently, a lot of you have been reaching out to me, asking me what I recommend for recovery gear and what kind of products I use when I go off-roading. And it's very important to be prepared. Be the person that's prepared. Don't be the person relying on someone. So in this video, it's going to be jam-packed with information on the gear that I use, but it's also going to be packed with a little bit of fun and showing it in action because I have a Bronco meet tomorrow up at Citrus, meeting a Bronco group and doing some wheeling. So we'll see if we have to use it. But even if we don't, I'm still prepared, and you should be too. You will notice that in this video, a lot of the products are by 𝕬𝕐 USA, and they have thankfully extended a promo code to viewers like you to save a little bit. And be sure to use my affiliate link, because just by using that affiliate link, it gives me a little kickback for directing you there. So it really just helps me out, but it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket besides, you know, the gear that you're gonna buy anyway, but you're also gonna save with the promo code. So I'll have that link in the description below, and I'll also put it in a card on top of the video. On my Bronco, I do have hard shackles attached to it all the time. It is important that if you keep these on the vehicle, you check them every once in a while, make sure they're tight, because sometimes the vibrations just loosen them up, just the day-to-day use. So it's really important that those are tight. You don't want them coming undone while you're driving down the highway, hitting somebody, breaking their windshield, or even hurting someone. If you have those on your vehicle, you should go out right now and check them. Another thing that I use are the soft shackles by 𝕬𝕐 USA. What I usually do is I will attach these to the hard shackles of the recovery vehicle and the vehicle that's stuck. They're really easy to use. You just kind of stretch it out, tighten it. But these are safer than the hard shackles. This is made with rope. So if it breaks, I mean, just imagine getting hit with this or metal. So it's important to have soft shackles. If you're going to get any, I would definitely invest in some of these before I invest in any other kind of shackle. Next thing I have from 𝕬𝕐 USA, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff that I use is made by them. I like having matching equipment. So the neon green, you know, it all matches. So I'm going to try to stick with 𝕬𝕐 USA, but I do have this toe strap or snap strap. I don't remember exactly what they call it, but it's either a toe strap or a snap strap. It is really important to check your gear before and after use, to make sure that, you know, you're not going to use it and it's going to break, because not only is it dangerous for the vehicles, but it's dangerous for the people watching, for the people in the vehicles doing the recovery work. So you just want to make sure that you're safe, check your equipment, make sure you take care of it and clean it, and you should be good to go. I had to get this. I have not actually personally used this yet, and I probably could have, because I have been stuck in some mud and sand. But the time that we did need to use this, I didn't have one, and that's why I decided to get it. But it's a shovel in this little bag. So it's a compact shovel. Let me get it out here. And it just folds up. So you can have a shovel just like that. Isn't that awesome? Next from my 𝕬𝕐 USA list is this tool bag. Now, I don't actually have tools in this. I have a toolbox, which I will get into that in a minute. But they do have this tool bag that I use for other things. They do have it marked with sockets, you know, just what does it all say? Miscellaneous tools, specialties. So you can really put whatever in this bag. I like it because it zips, and then it folds and it clips, and it does have the back where if you have a MOLLE panel, you can just get some Velcro and clip it to the MOLLE panel. I like this because it keeps everything that you need in one easy bag. So if you don't want to keep your recovery gear in your Bronco at all times, you know, if this is your daily driver, sometimes you just don't want the gear taking up the room in the trunk space, since there isn't a lot of trunk space. I, however, keep everything in here because I never know when I'm going to go off-roading. And honestly, you never know when you need tools. So it's just nice to have everything in its spot. That way you always are prepared. There are a couple things that I keep in this bag, and that is the 𝕬𝕐 USA tire deflator kit. If you're not familiar with these, you can just twist these off and you put them on the tire and it'll start deflating them. Eventually what I'm going to do is probably make my own tire deflator, inflator, 4-hose thing. You've probably seen that in some of my off-roading videos. A couple of my friends have made them. I have just not had the time or the energy to invest in seeing what parts I needed to get to make that. But it's actually substantially cheaper if you're going to make your own versus buying it. I know there's 𝔬𝕗, a couple other different brands that you could use if you didn't want to make one yourself, but you can stay tuned for a video for that. That is in the future, just not yet. The other thing in my bag is very important, and that is radios, whether it's GMRS, just a walkie-talkie, whatever you use, CB. It is important to have a radio. And you're like, hey, Krista, welcome to 2022. We all have cell phones. Yeah, you do. However, a lot of times when you're out in the trails, you don't have service because you're in the middle of a forest, you're in the middle of the desert, you're in the middle of, sand flats where cell phone service isn't prevalent. So it is important to have walkie-talkies. Now, if you are going to be wheeling in an area where you do have cell phone service, you may think this is not important, but it's really convenient to have these radios because you can talk and everyone hears you. So if you're the trail lead, you'd be like, hey, there's an obstacle that is pretty deep mud, so if you don't have the Sasquatch package, you may want to go around it, and everyone can hear you. I recommend the Midland radios. I have done a couple videos on these, and I love them. I have the handheld. I actually have a couple sets of the handhelds because I like them so much, and I, let other people borrow them when, they're new to off-roading and they may not have a radio. And then I also have like the wired one on the inside of the Bronco, but I prefer these because when I'm out of the Bronco, I just attach it to me. So if somebody's trying to get a hold of me in a different group or just in general, it's always on me. So I prefer the handheld over the hardwired ones in the Bronco. I also have a promo code for these. I'll put that in the link up above in this video, and I'll also put it in the description. That's also an affiliate link. So if you buy it, please use that affiliate link. I will get a kickback, and then you also get to save money with a promo code as well. But another thing that I never leave the house without is a toolbox. And I got this toolbox from Harbor Freight. It was about $44, and I had one prior to this that I got from Lowe's, which was almost the exact same thing, and it was $140. So if you want a toolkit just to keep in the Bronco or a vehicle, I recommend going to Harbor Freight. They usually have warranties on their tools, and they're cheap enough where if you do drop it on the trail, you're not going to be like, oh man. I used to only keep a multi-tool with me, and a multi-tool, you can only do so much. It's good for like little handy things, but if you're stuck or broke down, a bigger tool set could be a saving grace for you. This is something that you should keep in your Bronco at all times, not just off-roading, but having jumper cables. People might make fun of me for this next thing, but I don't care. Bungee cords. These things can be used for absolutely anything. You can find a use for these. I also got this whole pack at Harbor Freight. It comes in all different sizes and thickness, and it's just good to have. I keep these in the Bronco. Sometimes if I have certain things in there that I want to hook up to the MOLLE panel to keep it from scooting around, a cooler or whatever, I use the bungee cords. If you're really big into off-roading, or you may go off-roading by yourself, which I do not recommend. You should always have at least one partner with you, but you may have a winch, and you can use that to recover other people. You can even use it to help recover yourself. But it is important to have tree savers because if you don't, it'll damage the tree, which could kill the tree. And that's just not being a good steward of our trails because we want to tread lightly and keep things the way that they were. Last but not least is by far my favorite accessory on my Bronco. And I've had this for quite a while. I got it from 4x4truckleds.com. I'll put their website up in the video and then in the description below. They also have a promo code for you, but it's the ARB air compressor and the KR off-road mount. I love this air compressor, and I was a little bit like, do I really need an air compressor on the Bronco? Like I don't see myself using it, but I do use it. With the air compressor, it comes with a lot of different heads, so you can air up basketballs, really anything. Now that kind of wraps it up with the off-roading gear that I have. I, of course, plan to get more, and there's so much more that you can get. That's just kind of the basics. At least have a strap and some soft shackles. That's going to save you and your friend if you get stuck in the mud. But with this, there's also what do you do after you go off-roading? And there's some maintenance. And I've learned the hard way that there are certain things you should do after off-roading. That's going to be a different video for a different day. But I'm going to go ahead and pack this all up and get ready for tomorrow. Hopefully nobody gets stuck. But really, what's the fun in that if nobody gets stuck? It is Bronco Meat Day. I'm really excited to meet up with our Bronco group here. We're meeting at a gas station, and then we're gonna hit the trails at Citrus. We've got a pretty big turnout, so we're probably gonna break out into a couple groups before we hit the trails, but I am ready for a fun time. We are ready to hit the trails. I picked up my friend Rich because his Bronco is unfortunately in the shop and he wanted to join. So he's a new passenger in Buttercup. So kids, what do we need to tell him? Buckle up, Buttercup!
The trail, this road is East Haven Street, left turn.
Go for it. Drive or passenger.
To have a snap strap, rope, shackles, and you always have a partner and somebody willing to get muddy.
Yeah, I know, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is. We ready?
$59 or something like that, but I was like, hell yeah, why not?
You got the best shoes here. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode because we had some Broncos that had some serious issues, including mine. Oh! Did he turn it off or it just shut off? What the heck is going on? Oh man, Riley.
Stall again.
What is going on? Is this water cursed? Can you pull the drain closed?
Oh, too late, you already tried. That's why it all shot out.
Yeah. Two Broncos have issues and now I am having the charging system error. That's the alternator issue. My battery power voltage is going low. So I'm just trying to find out options because all the people that live by me to swap batteries have left. So I'm going to head to a friend's house and they're going to try to trailer me home. So fingers crossed that I get there.